I started recording this run because I wanted to complain about a problem I've been having with Triple S since its release. But turns out my problem decided to not be a thing today, and I got my trimmed medal instead. So I guess I'll mix business with pleasure and talk about what I don't like in Triple S with my run in the background? Starting with my original problem. Triple S loves crashing on me. It crashes all the time. Usually it happens in stages with a lot of enemies coming all at once, but it can happen at any time. I don't even understand how this can be a thing. I never have issues with Arknights running, even if I'm not in the newest, most powerful PC out there. I'm not in a potato either. But for some ungodly reason, whenever I want to try my luck in Triple S, the game just decides to crash. And sure, that doesn't really hinder me from collecting the rewards every rotation, but come on. I'm a completionist. I want the shiny things. I want to scroll through my medal page with a dumb draw on my face. Like the Laterano Popo would look at a cupcake stand. That's how I look at my medal page. And I'm not trying to blame anyone here, at least not now. We'll see when I get to the other things I don't like. But this problem in specific, the crashing, I can't say it's Hypergriff or Yostar who's at fault, because even if I'm not the only one having this problem, it's not everyone who's having it. So I don't know, I can't point fingers. It just comes out of nowhere, my video drivers crash, my gamma settings reset, and when it comes back I'm left with a blank Windows outline for the emulator and a corrupted video file when I'm recording. That just takes away my will to keep playing, man. But whatever. I guess this has way less importance if I manage to finish the run after all. So what else? What else Triple S does that is a problem? Well, a lot of it was fixed in this patch. But sure, let's go over them. It was a big problem having enemies scale forever. And I know the usual Arknights player would never have a problem with this, since it's so easy to kill everything if you bring a random 6 star to deal damage. But when you want to limit yourself to 4 stars like this, it's such a slog. Sure, we saw Grey and Earth Spirit being massive MVPs, but at what cost? Was it worth it to have some of the most chat-on operators get some love in exchange for 2-hour-long runs? No, it freaking wasn't. You know how you hear people saying everywhere that Arknights is balanced around 4 stars? I'ma be honest here, I don't think Hypergriff thought about it when they made Triple S. Sure, it's beatable, sure you can get the trimmed medal, but with so much waiting for things to die because you're dealing minimal damage, it's hard to believe a company would lose their time testing this. But as I said, it's doable. So I could be totally wrong and they could have tested it and decided they loved the stall strats going on, and I don't freaking know, I'm just a random bear. But a much bigger issue I have is with the draft system, and this will be addressed in the future as well. I'm not really sure to what extent, but I know it will be, at least partially. See, when I get past the crashing issue, my biggest complaint becomes the drafting. Because the way it works, you get offered your highest level operators. And sure, that is a very good thing. Why would you want your level 0 Irene when you can have that delish God Sanger completely maxed? But in my case it is an issue. It's not because I play with 4 stars that I don't raise other stuff. I'm done with all my modules and M6 and whatnot, so I gotta spend my resources somewhere. But why do I have to be punished for wanting to keep playing the game? Why the only way to limit the ops I can get is to create a brand new account and not raise anything else? Sure, this is a very specific issue. Casual players would never care about this, and we all know Hypergriff makes this game for the casuals. Wanting a specific change like this would be on the same level as wanting max risk CC to have rewards. Completely out of mind. Just so you know, what they will do with the drafting is they will have an option to skip the cards. I don't know if the skips are limited, or if you can skip after a certain point, or if you can skip every time, I don't know. But there will be a skip button. Okay, we get past the crashing, the unlimited scaling is gone, the draft is a dream and nothing else. What else is there? The rewards, dude. It feels like so much pain to get the rewards. You not only have to go through this game mode once and be free, You not only have to go through it a few times to get a stable auto. No, you are forced to play this thing multiple times if you want your shiny modules. And yeah, modules are not newbie stuff, you are supposed to do this after your account is ready. But even then, I guess this isn't a real problem, but more the result of me not liking all the other problems the game mode has and having to cope with it every time. But honestly, I think this might be a problem we have with any new permanent game mode we get, because now we are used to the way Annihilation works. Annihilation was a big pain as well. You had to clear it with all your might and come out on top just to get a cold shower because your auto is failing. And the failing wouldn't stop, it would be a new issue every run. Or at least it felt like it. When you started the game, Annie didn't feel that much like a slog, at least for me, but the more I played it, the worse it got. But after so much time, we got the skip tickets, and the issue didn't exist anymore. Just clear the most scuffed run you possibly can and you're Gucci. It's fun again, I'm enjoying it. And now I can go back and play Annihilation again if I want. But there's absolutely no pressure to do so. And because of that I can get out of my comfort zone and try some dumb stuff like I did my Chocolate Street clear, that you can check if you want. And if we're talking about Triple S, the feeling I get is the same as I had with Annie before we got the skip tickets. Even if Triple S got nerfed, even if my big issues vanished, even if I had fun playing the game mode, it just gets stale so fast. Because I know I'll be forced to do it again soon enough. To be fair, I think this might be a me problem more than anything. I really dislike being forced to do stuff. Clearing the story? I'm in control. I'm doing it because I want to finish it. Playing 4 stars only? I choose to do it. Even if for some reason I get stuck at some point, I'm having fun, it was my choice. Bears? Same thing. Maybe I'm just too bad and can't clear some stages like H96 or H103 for example. But this is what I want to do. I'm not being forced, I don't have to accept what someone else told me to do. And if you wanted to apply this line of thought to Triple S, sure, no one is forcing me to get modules, why care? If you don't like it, don't play it. But I really want to experience it all. And having modules at level 3 is just another achievement for me. It just feels wrong not having the ops next, even if it can make them way too strong, which is something else I'm not too fond of. Honestly, I'm kinda impressed that it didn't feel this terrible with IS2. I finished the stamps, filled my donation machine, and was playing way after finishing the rewards. But it's something different, I really love roguelikes. Isaac, Gungeon, Slade Spire, FTL, just to name some classics. I really love it, so whatever issue that IS2 has, I can overlook it and keep playing. And my dude, it does have issues. I want to make a video about it at some point, but just the TLDR. Not finding the encounters for endings is painful and I hate it. I grinded all of them, in all of the squads, but there's no way in heaven I can say it was fun to grind. Anyway, back to Triple S. I don't think the idea of the game mode is bad, I do think it's super fun. I was extremely excited to play until it released and my driver started crashing. And I can't see how someone would be able to overlook all the problems the mode has just like I can overlook the ones in IS2. It just hurts more when it's your own one, doesn't it? That's why I don't go around screaming Triple S sucks at every waking opportunity I get. I already screamed enough, and laying out my issues like this does take a load off my back, so I can accept it more easily. But there is one more thing I want to talk about. The bosses. Honestly, this Mushroom Snail boss does feel a lot more in place than the other two. I don't have any complaints about him. But what about the first two? Why do they go so much against the spirit of the mode? The first boss, the Massive Virginian Slug, it wants you to not draw cards anymore. Why is that? Doesn't that go completely against the fun of Triple S? Even more if we consider how people loved spamming supporters before the nerf to draw their entire decks multiple times. And I will talk just a little bit more about the supporter nerf, just let me get over the bosses first. One thing is creating a boss that hinders your abilities and makes you work your way through the game mechanics on a different path. And sure, You might say one could have just used supporter B and avoided all the crystals, but even then, you still get points for killing enemies, the game still begs you to draw, and you could be just one click from losing the entire run. And the second boss, why does it cast the rock debuff on your hand? I would be completely fine with it if he just locked ops who are deployed, but he has to go just a little bit over the top and lock what is in your hand. I feel like Triple S is much more about making shit work than having a great planned strategy, so stopping you from using the usual random bullshit go just doesn't quite fit for me. At least the third boss works together with the game mechanics. Sure, it clogs your hand, but it's not all negatives. You just have to make stuff up, and the stuff needs to be sturdy enough to survive a couple more enemies at a time. And you get points for killing the small puffballs. Do you see how much the design improved? We went from "you won't play the game" to "play it well and you'll be rewarded." Isn't that just lovely? I'd say it's all I wanted from a boss. Now, about the supporter nerf. Want my biased opinion? I like it. Don't get me wrong, exploits are fun, even more fun if you figure it out on your own, and abusing supporters was a fun exploit. But when exploits become the only way you play a game, are you really playing it? Are you really experiencing it in the fun ways the devs wanted you to? Or are you just skipping everything and getting to the finish line? I don't know the answer. I don't even think there is an answer. Exploits have been a topic in gaming for as long as gaming existed, so who am I to answer this? But I have my position, and I think we can enjoy Triple S just a little bit more now, even more after all the enemy nerfs, since we don't need to feel so forced to exploit it to win. And supporter B is still great. Searching is a busted mechanic in any TCG, so even if this is not a full search, it's limited to 4 random cards, it still feels amazing. But that was all I had to say about Triple S. Now my medal set is complete after much raging because of the driver crashes. And about Blitz, bad game mode forces me to take him at the last draft. Forget it all, game equals bad. I hope everyone has a very nice day. Peace out.